Welcome back to Enthador, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Marcus Aurelius, and this is Dwarf Fortress version 0.43, and we are the town of Foresthome. And it is now the year 158. Actually, it's almost the year 160. We're in the 16th day of the 11th month, and tragedy upon tragedy has struck. Oh boy, so first of all, we are under siege. As you can see here, although there's only one goblin bowman sieging us, the rest have left. It is in the middle of winter, our gates are closed. As you can see, the town has grown quite a bit, and I will be happy to give you the tour as soon as we profile a dwarf. Now, one thing I have to say is we've got a ton of new dwarves. We had 2 migration waves, and this is not something you're going to see from me often, but I just haven't had the time to name them. However, we do have a bunch of people that came from Sandpillar, that being Skeletorzar, Telor, Davnar Thickskull, Homer, and Minos. So they have all come from Sandpillar, and also, interestingly enough, the diplomat, the outpost liaison from our civilization, is still here. Actually, they're trapped in the town with us during the siege, but they let us know that at Sandpillar, the mayorship has been passed from Mans Holtkrantz, who I always kept as the mayor, to someone called Rovod Riddled Caves. So this is not a named dwarf. But I'm a little nervous about it because every time there was an election, the dwarves of Sandpillar always elected Vamp McVamperson. And I'm wondering if Rovod is his non-vampire name? I don't know, I'm a little worried about it. I hope they did not elect the vampire mayor. But we'll see. We'll find out. So let's profile a dwarf. So we actually did add one dwarf, though. We added Atlas, because Atlas was a child who grew to adulthood in the past year. Alright, 171. 171 is Wolf. So let's take a look at Wolf. Dun, 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 dun. Wolf. Wolf is unassigned, currently does not have a job. Wolf's name is Wolf Braidring, or Nakut Hathel. Now, Wolf is the grand something. Wolf is... What gender are you, Wolf? Wolf is a woman, and she just cannot stand by. She will have her revenge. And Wolf is the granddaughter of Dweezil and Gavin. And in addition to that, Wolf is the niece of Reichtangle and Brolock Alemaster, as well as Bearcat, son of Zephon. So she must have moved to the fortress to be with Bearcat. Ingelram Eisenzahn, also an uncle. And then her nephew Cassiterides lives at Sandpillar. And for cousins, we have a legendary or named dwarf here. Not one of ours, though. We also have Datan, who must be one of the new dwarves we currently have at Foresthome, Slavko XXX, and that's that for family. All right. Doesn't dislike anyone, which is great. So, I had a problem, okay? One of our dwarves had a mood, and it was unfortunately a glass maker. So I built a glass workshop and walled this dwarf in, like I do in my regular fortresses, because I knew they were going to go insane. Unfortunately, I did not expect that since we're now above ground, that they'd be able to climb out, which they did. So I had to then get a squad together of the toughest people in my fortress, many of whom aren't going to stay in the squad, but I just, for quickness, and had them all basically beat him to death. Because stuff had to be done, and we didn't have any weapons, so it's the best we could do. So anyways, it looks like, in this case, Wolf feels vengeful. She joined an existing conflict. That's not a good idea. I hope she is not a problem. She is 54 years old, and she likes dolomite, platinum, chrysocolla, giant capuchin leather, amber, sheep wool, shields, sheep for their tendency to flock, giant leopard seals for their fierce nature, red spinach for their leaves, and the words of the sheen of strategy. When possible, she prefers to consume one-humped camel, whip wine, and strawberry seeds. She absolutely detests worms. Aside from being vengeful, she feels sad at being separated from a loved one, pleasure after a satisfying acquisition, exhilarated after getting into an argument, and otherwise annoyed after having to drink without using a goblet, which all of our dwarves are. But you know what? That's okay because they're super happy anyway. So the dwarf that we had to murder was Gavin. Sorry, Gavin. Didn't mean to kill you, buddy, but we had no other choice. I was just going to let you starve to death, but that didn't really work out, so you had to be murdered. So that means we're going to have to make you a memorial, and we're going to have to get rid of all this stuff. So we're going to get rid of these wooden walls we made, and we're going to go to our new stone... Well, actually, we don't need the Stonecrafter's Workshop, really. What's your problem? Tellor, what's wrong with you? Tellor has 2 kills, that's neat. She is disgusted after being nauseated by the sun. She feels vengeful when joining us in conflict. So she must just... Her first... Oh, she's a little bit injured. Her first toe, right foot is broken. Her first toe, right foot is smashed open. Her 4th finger, right hand is broken. Gosh, I hope we don't lose any... We don't have a hospital, so I hope we don't lose anybody to injury. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to have our Craftsdwarf here. I gave him both stonecrafting and engraving skill, so hopefully he'll be able to engrave a memorial to Gavin. I don't know about these other 2. Maybe they won't haunt me. We'll see. And I put the memorial, by the way, to Caboose in the bedroom, just because I didn't know where else to put it. This is a masterful diorite memorial to Caboose Lemmismang Lor Idash. Wish you would tell me what that meant. Created by Felix the Viking. The slab reads, in memory of Caboose, born 92, died of thirst in the year 158, slayer of Eilard Plankroot, devoted mother and wife. And it looks like Eilard is actually a name that I came up with because it's surrounded in these little boxes. Alright. So let me show you a little bit about the town. I'll let things go while I'm doing that. So this is our main bedroom, as you know. Then we have our dining room, but I had to build another level to the dining room because we were getting too many dwarves too quickly. Now, what are you guys doing? I need to wall you off here. Why are you just standing there, Skeletorzar? That is not part of the dining room. That is not part of the dining room experience. I need to get you back inside there. The reason I have this area open is because I'm building a roof over this here, which is the bedroom for our mechanic. In fact, I'm going to build a wall to close that off here. Okay, perfect. And, okay, down here, so this one is only a 1-story, and this is for our farmer. This is a bedroom for our farmer. This is our mechanic's workshop, and upstairs is their bedroom, that I'm working on still. This is our Craftsdwarf's workshop, and up here, the bedroom. And our Craftsdwarf, in this instance, is... Come on. Is Beard Barber. And since Beard Barber is married to Henrik, Henrik gets this bedroom as well. And then, okay, so then here we have our 2 masons' workshops. We have 2 masons working for us currently. We have our elite mason, who is Felix the Viking. He makes all furniture and blocks. And then over here we have Atlas. And Atlas is our journeyman mason, who's currently making nothing but blocks. And these are their bedrooms on top. Now you'll notice that all the furniture is blue. Well, that's because I decided to use cobaltite, which is a secondary stone that we found. I'm trying to use every stone we dig up so I don't have piles of stone in order to make furniture. So he is using the cobaltite. So then we have another little cluster of buildings here. This is our wood burning workshop, which currently I'm just having a ton of people do it, but eventually I might settle down with having 1 wood burner. And then there's a bedroom that's currently unoccupied. And finally here's Chief Jaronka's workshop, and this is the quantum stockpile for wood, but I got rid of the quantum nature of it. So basically this is a finite stockpile, and once it's gone, it's gone, and I'll have to figure out where to put wood elsewhere. And then, of course, this is Chief Jaronka's bedroom up here. And this here is going to be an area for a forge. Now, we lost Ati, unfortunately, so we don't have anyone who has any skill in armor or weapons crafting, which is a shame. But then this floor is actually going to be a storage for bars. So bars of charcoal and bars of metal in bins. And then finally, the third floor here will actually be whoever our weaponsmith or armorsmith, their bedroom. I think I would make it the same person. Since nobody has any skill anyways, might as well just make it the same person. Doesn't really matter. That way I save space. So that's the only people that have houses so far, but we have like 40-some dwarves. We have 50 dwarves. So obviously the bedroom seems to be okay. They take shifts in terms of sleeping, but the dining room really needed some extra help. So I am working on this. And another thing that kind of bugs me is that my dwarves are so used to the sun, they don't get sick. But when migrants come, that's where all the vomit comes from, is the migrants. And I think that's really kind of dumb because they just journeyed here all the way from Sandpillar and other mountain homes. And so the idea that they would get sick seems rather stupid. To me, anyway. Alright, I thought this was a corpse stockpile. What's going on here? No, it's not. It's an animal stockpile? What? Is this even a stockpile? Yeah, it's a corpse stockpile. So why are they not putting the corpse there? I guess because these bones are there? Oh, man. Anyways, one thing we're cool on is food and drink. We got tons of plants and we got tons of drinks. So we're good there, so it's good because we're under siege. I don't know if this bowman's ever going to leave. Hopefully he will. But we don't have anything to fight him with yet. I did make a military squad, but I'm going to release some people from it here. Let me see that here. Military. Then I'm going to rename it, but Proserpina is still going to lead it. I had Teller, Homer, Zephon, and Enthador. Enthador, I put them on there because they're strong because of being a miner, and they technically had a weapon, which was the pick. That's the only person in the entire fortress with a weapon. But I am going to let him go back to mining. Then we have Zephon. I think all these guys had some level of skill, which is why I put them in there. So maybe I might just leave them all in there, and that'll be my first squad of Mark's dwarves. Even though I don't think it was Mark's dwarf's skill that they had. Let's see. Let's go sort by squad. So yeah, so Tellor does have Mark's dwarf squad, and so does Zephon. Now, let me read here because we let go of... Yeah. So Homer, I put on simply because Homer had a lot of regular fighting skills, but no weapon skill. Homer does have a kill, though. So wait, but who killed Gavin if none of these four... Well, that's weird. So... someone must have killed him. I mean, but nobody here's listed as having killed him. That's really interesting. Maybe we don't know yet who did it? Let's look at the reports. The Bone Queen. I love it. Alright, so Gavin. So, yeah, it was Proserpina. Proserpina punches the unassigned in the head with her right hand, and the injured part explodes into gore. So, Proserpina basically got her first blood as our militia commander by punching a berserk dwarf in the face and exploding their head. And that was the end of Gavin. So why didn't Proserpina get credited for that kill? Oh, she did. Okay, Gavin cobalt-butted the dwarf. Awesome. So that's where we're at, folks. And I guess this didn't work. I didn't have time. I had this mined out when it was ice. This, unfortunately, nothing south of the halfway point, so this didn't turn to ice. But this turned to ice, but I guess you have to get rid of the ramps, too, because the ramps just filled it up again with water. A little bit less water than it had, but still it's full of water, which makes me sad. This is the foundation of the pyramid, but since I'm not quite sure what I want to do with it, and I have a bunch of random stuff lying around, just haven't gotten to that yet. I'm still trying to clean things up. I did make a road here, but I then took it away. And the reason I did that is because you can't build anything on top of a road, which, by the way, I think is stupid. But that's just me. But so in order to, like, for example, put a statue, if I wanted to put like a line of statues in the middle of the road, I would have to know ahead of time that I wanted to do that and build the road everywhere except for where the statues are going to be. which, again, is stupid. But you could do it another way by building a floor, but the reason why a road is so much better than a floor is because to do all of this took 18 stone, or blocks. Whereas to do it as a floor, it would take like 100, probably more than 100. So it's just more economical in terms of stone usage. So that's really that. Basically, all I gotta now is start getting these places furnished. Now, do we have a bed? We do. Okay, so we're gonna put his bed here. And we do have a cabinet. And we should have a chest. So that's for our farmer. And, okay, our mechanic will get a bed as well. And a cabinet. And a chest. I think we're out of all that stuff now, too, so we need to build some more. Alright, that's fine, but I got... No, okay, so why is everybody hanging out here? Now it's main cots. Like, that should... This is not a hangout zone, folks. Let's resize the room. And let's make it a little bit smaller. Let's just... Right now, let's put it right here. Alright. So hopefully, he'll go inside. No, you don't want to do that? That doesn't seem like a good idea to you? Oh, well, might as well, while I'm here, might as well dump this random bone, because that'll irritate me to no end if that just stayed up there forever. And here comes someone to take care of that. Alright, Mean Cot, you're kind of pissing me off here, buddy. Alright, let's go. Let's create a zone. Or not a zone. What do I want to do here? I want to... Like, if I was thinking if I could create a burrow. That's what I want, is a burrow. Okay, so we're going to create a burrow, add new burrow. Burrow 1, that's fine. Let's define it right here. And we're going to... Can we not... Oh, here we go. We're going to add a citizen to the burrow. And that citizen is going to be... Who is he? Muffle? Muffle. Alright. Well, he didn't go in the burrow, but I don't care. He's gone. So, build wall. Diorite blocks. And we can go ahead and... Come on. We can go ahead and get rid of that burrow. Delete. Yes, please delete the burrow. Thank you. Alright, let's make sure they take care of that correctly. Done. Alright, good. And as you can see, I'm using scaffolding in a number of places too. I have to actually get rid of this scaffolding here. And I'm going to build new scaffolding. Since this is going to be a 3-story building, I have to move new scaffolding here. So how about build upstairs? And we'll do that here. Oh, we do also... I'll show it you in a second. We do have a artifact. I think it was Felix the Viking. We have 2 artifacts, actually, but Felix the Viking took care of Gidthor Stistras, or the Grasp of Playing, which is a diorite weapon rack. This is a diorite weapon rack. All craftsmanship is of the highest quality. It is encrusted with rectangular diorite cabochons. This object menaces with spikes of diorite. On the item is an image of Clanboard, the Lignite Aral, in diorite. On the item is an image of Smooth Pebbles in yak leather. On the item is an image of a thin cross in rubicelle. So yes, that was by Felix the Viking. Now, who did Ishagsnigak or Cups Frost for the Yakbone chain? This is a Yakbone chain. All craftsmanship is of the highest quality. On the item is an image of a wave in Yakbone. On the item is an image of skinks in diorite. Huh. Who is responsible for that beautiful piece of artwork here? I need to figure this out. Is there a way to just look to see who's made an artifact? No, not really. It wasn't one of our legends. Let's see here. I'm going to pull this out here so you can see it. Skills. I think it would actually just say creator of Whatsy Whoosy, so we can find that out. Not the most convenient thing in the world, but hopefully it wasn't someone that died. Oh, is it? Felix the Viking did the Grasp of Playing, right? And there's gotta be an easier way than this. I mean, I don't know why it just doesn't tell you this great item was made by so-and-so. Why wouldn't it? If an item is masterful, it tells you who did it. So why wouldn't a legendary item do it? Well, the cool thing is you all get to look at my dwarves really quick. You can see what everybody is and a little thing about each of them. And I don't know. Oh well, it is what it is. The game makes it hard to know who created artifacts. I think that's kind of... We can do like a... We could do a statue that commemorates the artifact, and then it might tell us this is so-and-so holding up the artifact. That would help, I suppose. So this, if you'll remember, is the entrance down into where we get our stone from. That's why I built kind of our stone sector around it, and I created a separate downstairs to go to the food area. And look, oh man, we're storing a bunch of seeds here. That's not really what I want this space to be used for. But we don't have any bags, which is probably for the best, because I heard you have problems when there's things in bags and in barrels. I'll have to figure that out one way or another. But I think we're coming together pretty well, though. I mean, we're safe. We have plenty of food and drink. The dwarves are relatively happy. There's been a little bit of tragedy, but not a ton. I've got most of the major crafts areas... Crafts? Crafting areas set up. I have everybody who is a crafts dwarf of some kind or other does have a room, and I'm working on making a few more rooms. I think I have 2 farmers, though, so I'll have to build another house for another farmer. I could do something kind of funny, like put it like right here. That would be kind of interesting. And ooh, there's this staircase here that I probably should get rid of at some point. Didn't even notice that. Let's go DN and remove that. Thank you. And yeah, that's that. So eventually I want roads to be here. I'm actually not going to see any green at all, except for where I want it to be. But again, the fact that the roads don't allow you to build anything on top of them really bugs me. Now, of course, neither do floors, which again also bugs me. But at least you can remove 1 square of a floor. You cannot remove 1 square of a road. You have to remove the entire road. So it makes it a little difficult. But, ladies and gentlemen, once again, I am Marcus Aurelius, and I would like to thank you so much for joining me on this adventure in Enthador, in the not quite as elite, but getting there, town of Foresthome. Have a good one.